market stats, right? We probably all have access to market stats somewhere, right? Whether it's through DMAR or that other title person or fill in the blank, right? What I want to share with you today is we can pull vague, large market stats, whether it's zip codes, counties, areas, yes. But what about like niche, micro specific market stats, all the way down to like, if we wanted to go take a rectangle of the block up the street in Cherry Creek North and pull all the data on that. That's how small and specific we can go. And once you understand how to do this, you can do it, like, in my opinion, less than 10 minutes, 5 minutes, okay? So what I wanna do is I wanna share with you kind of how we can pull this data and then how we can leverage it and use it and put it into kind of sexy looking graphs, charts, PDFs, whatever, and make it look cool. I just launched this and ran this earlier while we were setting up. This is the power of AI, you guys. AI can be used in so many different ways, whether it's video, social media, market graphs, taking statistics and data and extracting the important information. We no longer need to run formulas and all that because AI does it for us, okay? I don't know about you guys, but I'm using ChatGPT more than I use Google now. Like, it's on my phone, like it is the only thing I'm using now, right? And it's changing very, very quickly. And let's dive into market stats, okay? So what we can do is we can take stats like this, right? This was just made, again, like literally in a minute through AI. It just built all this out, right? I'm gonna show you how to do this. You can pull this and take any information you want, quickly create good visuals behind it, and then leverage it, okay? You can take charts, graphs, data. You can build it all out and just make it look more interesting and more informative. You can then take that data. If you're doing anything with video, anyone putting out any video information on market stats? Nobody. All right, we won't talk about that. Okay. But you could. You could take that and then put it into a script and then tell AI, hey, make this not boring, right? And don't just spit off a bunch of numbers that no one cares about and make it actually sound interesting, and it will do a darn good job. All right. So what I want to share with you is another AI system. It's called Claude. Has anyone heard of Claude? Some of us. All right. So I'd say, like, in my workflow and the way I'm using AI, I'd say 80% of my time is spent using ChatGPT and 20% of my time is using Claude, okay? And the reason why I like Claude is because it can do some things that I've found personally ChatGPT can't do, all right? Backing up here, if you just go really, really wide net here, right? How can we use AI for real estate? There's so many different ways. And I think, like, in my opinion, like what I want to share with you today, I'm going to give you like a buffet of a few things, and you take what you find valuable, try not to get overwhelmed, and leverage it for your business, right? The goal is not to replace you, but to make you more efficient. I think the people that are going to use AI, you're just going to be more efficient in your job, and you're just going to be better at it. And the other people are going to be slower, and you can do more because time is our most important, right? That we need to take back and have. AI is overwhelming. Anyone remember when, like, this first iPhone came out? Anyone have the first iPhone? Right? Boom. Look at that, early adopter. I love it. We first on ChatGPT too when it came out. Look at that, right? So first iPhone came out. Guess what happened? Cool. Well, I had a flip phone.
So Kelsey's 12.
First phone, that's cool. So when the first iPhone came out, guys, guess what happened? All these apps flooded the market, right? It was like they all did kind of the same thing. There were like 12 flashlight apps. Remember there was a flashlight app before it was built into the phone, right? That's the way I see this with AI, right? Like there's all these different competing spots and everyone's trying to grab like that market share and have people use it. A lot of them do kind of the same things. Some stuff do things differently, whether it's ChatGPT, Grok. Anyone using Grok? Okay, Grok. One thing I'll say that's cool about Grok, just a quick little 10-second spiel on it. Grok is through X, right, Elon? And what you can do with Grok, what's cool about it that makes it a little bit different is you can leverage all of X, formerly known as Twitter, all of the data on X. So if you're looking for like social media trends, like content to create based off of what's trending through the platform X, you can leverage Grok. The problem with these other platforms, say for example, ChatGPT, right, is if we tell it to go and look something up on Instagram or YouTube, it's blocked, right? The API on that website or through that company, they block these AI systems from leveraging their data. So that's one thing that's cool about Grok, okay? Another one, Perplexity, it's more advanced. Again, so you're gonna hear there's all these different ones and it's overwhelming. And I just wanna like keep it super narrow. Like in my opinion, ChatGPT is a great spot for you to hang and breathe. But I do wanna share with you Claude today because I think Claude is really, really good at taking data and analyzing it better, at least as of today, better than ChatGPT. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. Okay. It's the same concept as ChatGPT. You do the same stuff, type it in, it creates, whatever you type in there. But Claude is where we're going to focus. All right. So we got a ton of slides here, but I want to fast forward today to how we can leverage all of this market data. All right. So what this looks like is I first tried to do this on ChatGPT a few months ago. And what I found was it just wasn't getting the data there. But now if I take Claude, I can plug it in. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. We have access to the MLS. Let's say you have a listing coming up. I don't know. Does anyone have a listing coming up somewhere? We can make this a real life example.
I guess condo.
Cap Hill. Okay.
Or the Congress Park,
Cap Hill Congress. For simplicity, we'll just call it Capitol Hill. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So this is RE Colorado. All right. So within RE Colorado, we can search residential, right? We go search residential. And then we, of course, have this screen pop up, which I'm sure we're all familiar with. We can do anything, right? We can map. We can go over here and map a specific area of data we wanted to pull, right? We could do that. Or we could just pull a specific, say, subdivision, right? Let's pull it up here, Cap Hill, okay? Just keep it Capitol Hill to keep it specific, right? Over here on the left-hand side, we can search and pull data, right? You can see here, I have some default settings set up. I'm gonna uncheck active properties. I'm gonna pull anything that, let's just say closed in the last 365 days. Let's pull all the data within Cap Hill and have it, all right? If I scroll down, right, you can get more specific. I'm not gonna do that. If I pull anything that's sold within the Capitol Hill subdivision within the last 12 months, 365 days, there's 139 matches. If I go into results and I want to download this data, right, I can come over here and I can select all of this data and download it. Important point here, you guys, okay, is when you load this screen, your screen's going to look probably different than my screen. And what I mean by that is you can add and remove columns of data that you can download in addition to the default settings column. So what I mean by that is if you look here, if I scroll to the right, I have maxed this sucker out, okay? I've got 50 columns in here, which is the max number of columns. And I'm pulling every sort of data point that I can on these properties before I export it, right? Anything from square footage to year built to lot size to were there concessions on the transaction, to the subdivision, to who is the agent on there, to what was it listed at, what did it close at, so I know that ratio, right? Bedrooms, bathrooms, you get it, all that important information, okay? So in order to do this properly, the one piece of legwork that you're gonna have to do is you're going to want to add all of these columns in. And the way that you do that is you can click up here in the MLS, you can click on any of these columns. I could click right here, right? And I can insert and remove columns. So if I want to insert a column, I click insert right here. And then boom, you're at never-ending list of columns and options. You can start adding those in. You search it, add it, apply, insert it. All right. Once you've done that and you filled it all in with all the information, and if you want to know the ones I added, I'll send it to you. But once that's done, we can then save this so you never have to do it again and just have this be the default. And the way that we do that is right up here, there's a little cogwheel. Boom. And we can say, hey, set this as my current display. So now moving forward in the future, this is how it would default to, and you can download this data. Cool? Cool. All right. So 139 properties that have sold in the last 12 months in Cap Hill. All right. All I'm going to do is I'm going to click select all 139. Boom, done. Right. Now I'm going to go down here and click on, if I can hide this, boom. Okay. I'm going to click on all export. Here it is. Okay, export, single line format. All right, boom, give it to me in a row in a spreadsheet, export, download. Capitol Hill sales past 12 months. All right, cool. This just downloaded to my computer as a CSV file. All right, now let's go into Claude. Welcome to Claude, right? Claude is this. Here's the deal. You can sign up, do a free account. Here's the catch though. Similar to ChatGPT, right? There's a free account. Next level up is $20 a month. If you want to upload data like we're going to do today, you're going to have to upgrade, spend $20 to be able to upload your information into Claude. All right. So I've got that level, I guess the pro version. I can now take that file, upload file, go to my desktop, go to Capitol Hill, past 12 months, import this information. And now I can take it and run with it and do anything I want, right? So let's pretend here. Where can we go with this data? We can do market stats. We can pull information before we go into the listing. Have we had the listing presentation? Is it active? Is it live?
It's not live.
Okay. Okay. Let's pretend this. Check this out here. I'm going to scroll way down to this. I've got a prompt. And a prompt that I like to use is if I'm going to go in and have a listing presentation. So this is a prompt that I've got here that I'm going to copy and paste. I'll give it all to you all if you want it, and have it essentially create market report information for me as if I'm going into a listing presentation. Everything that I should know to be prepared for this listing presentation. I can paste it in here. I'm preparing for a listing presentation and need a single standout market insight that will impress the prospective seller. All right. The subject property is a blank, blank, blank. So how many homes, how many bedrooms is this home?
2 bedrooms.
2 bedroom, how many baths?
1 bath.
Bedroom and 1 bath. Condo with how many square feet? Roughly, guess. 1,000 square feet in, let's say, Capitol Hill. Okay. This insight should be data-driven, nuanced, and directly relevant to the property's unique characteristics and current market conditions. Importantly, the insight must be drawn exclusively from the provided MLS data without fabricating or making up any statistics. Highlight an unexpected trend or value that impacts the home sale price or market positioning, making the seller think, hey, this agent truly understands how to maximize my property's value. Okay, cool. The attached data shows sales that have occurred in the past 12 months in the surrounding neighborhood area, Capitol Hill. Okay, enter. All right, now it's gonna go to work. Cool. Gonna do a bunch of computer looking stuff here and go crazy for a while. So what it's going to do is eventually, hopefully it'll work today, and it's going to spit out some results, and it's going to start to fill in all this data. Okay, so guys, think about how you can leverage this in the simplest form, right? You have a listing presentation. You can do this for any listing, anywhere you go, right? We can ask it anything. We're going to go deeper into this in a little bit. How have I been using this to help real estate professionals, whether it's going into a listing presentation? Last week, I had an agent who's trying to work with this developer, and this developer wants to build out in an area. What did we do? We went into the MLS. We pulled all of the data in that area. We pulled it happens to be a hot area where there's a lot of development going on. We pulled everything that was selling, everything you can pull even by the name of the builder, and it can sort and pull in and say, hey, this builder is building this builder is building this, right? If you're going to be a developer, I would recommend selling this size properties at this price point. This seems to be what's converting the best, right? So we're just taking data really fast, analyzing it, and now you're the expert, and you can take all this cool looking information and give it back to whoever you're talking to, okay? Cool. So while it's doing this, I want to show you a few other things. All right. So when it spits this data out, it's going to give us a ton of information. All right. Which is kind of boring to look at, right? It's going to be words, information like that. I'll show you here. I ran one the other day, right? It's going to give us bullets and charts and numbers and all that. The next step is like, how do we make this look better and like more easy to read, right? Because to me, this is not very fun to read numbers. Okay. So what we can do is we can then take all of this information, and we're going to use another system, another free AI tool that is going to make it more visually appealing. All right. And that tool is, oops, go back here. Gamma.App. Okay. Has anyone heard of Gamma.App? Okay. So Gamma.App, check this out. Gamma.App is completely free, okay? What you can do with Gamma.App, what it does from the surface is you can create presentations. You can create PDF documents. You can create visually appealing documents instantly generated from information that you put in or you have it prompt, and it will spit it out for you instantly. All right. So, for example, if I wanted to then paste in and generate something, I can either import a file, I can paste it in, or I can generate. Let's say I have text from Claude, which I have here from a moment, and I want to paste it in. Okay, let me go back here. So let's see. Capitol Hill. Based on data analysis, I've identified a standout market insights for your Capitol Hill 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo listing. Initial pricing strategy. The 55-day premium. This data reveals a compelling insight about Capitol Hill condos and what most sellers miss. Blah, 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 blah. What's truly remarkable is the pricing sweet spot of the properties. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So let me take this. I'm going to copy this. I didn't like what that spit out, so we're going to play with this. This is AI. It's not always perfect, right? Now I'm going to say, based on what you know about my condo listing, I want you to provide key insights based on the provided data in Capitol Hill and share relevant and interesting market stats that can be shared with the home seller to help them sell their home for top dollar. Okay. While it's running that, though, we can now take data and we can copy and paste this over into Gamma. All right. So let's just try this. I don't know what this is going to do, but if, for example, I wanted to quickly create something, I copy and paste it in here. Now, where am I going with this? Yes, you could use this for market stats, but other ways you can leverage this tool and resource is you could take really anything from, say, ChatGPT or any sort of AI platform, and you can instantly create like downloadable PDF documents or presentations. Think about lead magnets, right? Think about if you want to give something away for free, you want to create a quick PDF document. You can have ChatGPT or your AI of choice create that information instantly. Then you could copy and paste it into this system, Gamma, right? And then it will generate it for you, right? So how Gamma works is you upload the document or you fill in the information, and then lets you choose a theme, right? There's different stuff here. And then you click generate. And then it's going to go to work. It's going to take that information. You can see here I'm doing this very quickly, so I have no idea what it's going to create, but it's just going to start making something based off of the information that you have and make it look more attractive, right? So this is what it's making. The 55-day premium Capitol Hill condo pricing strategy, right? The high cost of overpricing, 161 days on market, 56 days on market, 40% reduction rate, 34,000 average cut. Market performance by pricing strategy. The sweet spot for Cap Hill 2-bedroom, 1-bath condos. The room for negotiation, right? It'll take any information and plug it in and make it look visually appealing. Is this cool? Cool. Okay. Guys are quiet. Very quiet. Very quiet. I wasn't sure. All right, look at it. Just going to work. Questions?
Okay, so Percy, what's your price? We're gonna go on at 3. Okay, so if hers is around 325 and I saw you pick one that was like 1.4, or like didn't pull condos, pulled some single family, does that matter with statistics?
The input's going to directly affect the output, right? So we could update it. Let's do that next, right? Let's say, hey, we're going to list at this price based off what you know now, based off the available data. At the end of the day, the data is the data, right? And the more input we give, the better the output's going to be, right? Totally.
Does that give you a pricing strategy? Like, does that actually give you pricing there, or was it?
This one? Let's see. Let's read it. Ready? Here we go. Okay. So 161 days versus 56 days, almost 40% of comps experience average 34,000 off their list price. What's truly remarkable is properties like this, blah, 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 blah. It didn't, but let's ask it. Based on
the bottom of the second paragraph.
which would position your 1,000 square foot property at 397. What are you at? What are you listing at? 325. Okay. So, yikes, higher. Correct. Correct. Totally. That's what she's saying, yikes.
Yeah.
I actually Yeah, it's a little off for sure, but I think we can price it 350. So
Got it.
but yeah, it's a little.
Guys, let's back up here though. Remember what I typed in? I typed in bedroom, bath, right? I typed in square footage. That's it, right? If we gave it more information, right, we can get more accurate. So again, like totally. So again, like AI, like I feel like this stuff, like with anything, right? It's going to get you 90, whatever, 95% there. You still got to tweak it and make it accurate, right? At the end of the day, like you can't just trust this, like anything, but it should be pretty darn good if you're typing in the right stuff, right? Scroll down here, look at this. Key insights for Cap Hill, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, right? So now it's just taking all of that data. Pricing position, initial pricing is critical, right? Of course. The price reduction penalty, premium for property pricing, size and value insights, right? Based off of the available data, marketing and timing advantages, fast selling properties versus seasonal sweet spots. June sales showed the strongest combination of price and speed, 16.3 days on market, right? Let me take this data. Key insights for your Capitol Hill 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo. Timing considerations. Historical data suggests listing when inventory is lower to maximize visibility and negotiate from a position of strength, right? Just reading things. Let's do a new one. Let's go back here. Same concept, create new, right? Let's turn this one though, let's turn this one into a PDF document. Maybe we want to share this PDF, right? I could go in here, paste in text. Down here, instead of presentation, you could build a website too. It will make an instant web page that you could share. A document, let's go document or social. Continue, okay, right? Again, we're not going to get in here. We're going to leave it. It's fine. Let's roll with it. Generate it. Let's just choose basic theme. Boom, done. Okay. While that's generating, I want to do another prompt. So that's going to go to town here and start building this out. Okay. Back over here. Yes, question. What's up, Sean?
Why are you using Claude and ChatGPT now?
For me, what I found when I tried to plug this into ChatGPT, it was struggling. It was struggling to like make the connections and accurately like analyze the data. Now, again, that was 2 months ago. And of course, this stuff's always evolving. So maybe it's gotten better. But I started messing around with Claude, which I found is just pulling better results, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yep. So,
and ChatGPT is going to make the pretty graphs and charts visually appealing.
Personally, I've tried it and I struggled to make it really visually appealing. Claude can also make very visually appealing stats. So, like, watch this, right? Take this market data. Actually, let's just do a real prompt right now. I want to show you this too. So, next thing's next, right? We can then take this data and let's say we wanted to email this out. Okay, so now let's go next level with this, right? Take your market data, right? We did listing presentation. Let's say you're farming a neighborhood. Let's say you're the neighborhood expert for an area, or you just want to pull all the MLS data and share it and put that into a quick email, right? You can ask it those questions, right? Give me this information. Then what you can do is you can go into Claude and you can have it create an actual email that you can instantly copy and paste and send out, okay? So this is another prompt, all right? Assume the role of a masterful graphic artist and expert in interactive infographic design. Your task is to create an HTML email newsletter based exclusively on the data in the attached spreadsheet previously provided. Let me do that, all right? Previously provided. Do not alter, fabricate, right? You get it, right? Follow the data, follow the rules. Guys, again, the input's going to directly affect the output, right? So this is only going to be as good as specific as we are. So this prompt is going to cover our bases on a lot of stuff, right? So here it is. Personal greeting, compelling market insights, data visualization, blah, 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 all this stuff. Let's have it get to work, okay? The only thing I have to change is this right here. The spreadsheet contains a list of homes in Capitol Hill, Denver, categorized by closed.
Will you send us these prompts?
Yes. Closed homes. All right, let's go to work. Boom. So Claude's making this now. Now, here's one reason I do like Claude right now for this is once this spits it out, I'll show you what this can do because it's going to take a little bit, is you can do this. So I did this last night and made one. Can't see this. Here it is, right? And I'll click on it so you can click in here. And what it will do, it will make something, right, like this, okay? You can take this data and you can actually copy and paste it into your email system, right? So for example, like I use MailChimp. I can log into MailChimp, copy and paste all of the HTML code, and it instantly, boom, turns that into an email that I can send out. You guys following? Cool. Okay. So I'll show you this. I'm a visual person. Let me show you how this works real fast. Okay. Let me go back over here. I want to quickly log in and create an email right here, right? Of course, email systems are different, but all of them allow you to quickly create an email, and then you can go into your draft and you can design the email, and you can copy and paste the code. I just want to make a basic email like I did last night. Okay. No, I want to code my own. Okay. So watch this. Let's go over here. Cherry Creek. So the way Claude works is as it starts to pull in information, it gives you what's called artifacts. Artifacts are essentially like what its output is, right? So if I wanted to look at the different artifacts, whoops, I can go and click on them here on the side, right? So here is that email artifact that I created last night. I can copy this data, which is the code, HTML code. I can paste it in here, apply. Yes, continue. Let me apply. Paste. Oh, well, that's not good. There it is. Save. Boom. Email. Right? So now you've got an email with data you can send out. How could you use this? You could use this for market reports, for your email list. What if you have an active listing that's just sitting there and the seller wants updates? You could pull stuff that took place in the last month, right? And say, hey, here's what's actually going on using data and numbers, right? And here's what we should do, right? Like instantly pull this stuff fast, all right? How we doing? How we feeling? Am I doing okay? Okay. Okay. Okay.
I see like this is like Claude is more of a market driven, analyst essentially.
Sure.
Have you found like on the social side, maybe using Grok to drive a campaign, branding, as opposed to Claude because it's taking in more social content?
Great question. I think Grok would be a great choice if you're trying to figure out what's trending with like social content. I would go into Grok because it can leverage X, and I would start to ask it, hey, what's like the trending real estate topics that are performing really well through X, right? And it can pull that data. All right. Yeah. So I think for that example, I would use Grok. For Claude, I really like it for analyzing any sort of data. All right. So guys, here's what we're going to do next, because I know we're crunched on time here. Time flies when you're doing charts and graphs. By the way, here's the output from that Capitol Hill report, right? So I copied and pasted that earlier into a PDF document. Cap Hill condo market analysis and selling strategy, right? Okay, it's filling all this in. Boom, 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 boom. If I want to download it, I can download it over here. I can add more slides. It will instantly do it for me. Question?
Gamma, how much is Gamma?
Gamma, this is completely free to build out up to so many slides. So just try it out, copy and paste it in, create all your information. Yeah. If you wanted to go like premium, I think it's like $100 for the year. Very reasonable. All right. Okay. Questions so far? Question.
So on any of these, like I would love to do this for my newsletter.
Yep.
Patricia. And so if we do the HTML, like the code,
Mm-hmm.
we just plop it in our system.
What email newsletter? Which email do you use? ActivePipe? Does ActivePipe allow me to copy and paste HTML code in to build an email? I would hope it would. HTML is not exposed.
It has its own templates.
Okay.
Some of those charts too.
Yes, it does have the charts and statistic graphic that's already looked
Okay.
up to the MLS,
Okay.
so it can already pull like average sales price, median, all
Yep.
that stuff directly in like 2 seconds. So
Sweet.
it's nice, but I don't know if they can do it.
I guess worst case scenario, you could download the images and just embed them in. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because this is all downloadable too, right? PDF, presentation, all that data. Yep. Question.
Can you show us how you would take this information, plug it into Grok for a social campaign?
That's a good question. Well, I would, but this morning I got an email that I was banned from X for some reason. Andrew, you got X?
You have to have X.
Let's see. Let me circle back on that one. All right. I don't know why it banned me, but it didn't give me any option to appeal. All right. So we'll connect on that after, because I guess I'm in jail permanently. All right. I'll do it later. I know I got limited time. It's 10:12. How much time I got? A couple minutes. Okay. 8 more minutes. Here we go. Question.
Are you using ChatGPT still?
Yep. So now let's go into ChatGPT. Great segue. If I get rid of this thing.
Just want to know what you're using it.
Yep. So let's go into ChatGPT. Okay. Boom. So, guys, welcome to ChatGPT. All right. We're familiar with it. Chat.openai.com. There's free version, there's premium version. Who's got the primo version? $20 a month. Who's going up to $200 a month? No one? Guys, so ChatGPT, they keep improving it. Huge news last week. You might have heard, you might have seen it on social. They incredibly improved all of the image creation. You guys seen that? It's wild, right? You can go so far. You can create images right within ChatGPT, and they are incredibly, they're much better than they used to be a week ago, right? The issue with all this stuff, like if you go back 12 months ago, right? It wouldn't get the text right. It wouldn't spell things right. Now it's like getting text right. It's getting images right. Another thing you can do now, you could upload your image, your headshot in here, and it can take and keep the look of your actual photo of yourself and create an image behind it. All right. You couldn't do that a week ago. It's moving fast. ChatGPT, a few things just to show you that might be valuable. When we load it here, right? Computer versus on our phone, we can do a few things. We can, of course, change around to different models. I'm in ChatGPT 4.0. Down here, is anyone familiar with these buttons down here? Search, deep search. For the longest time, ChatGPT got knocked down because everyone would say, right, it's not live data. It's only up to a certain point. Well, now it's live data. You can leverage this search option as well. You have to click it every time, which is a little bit frustrating, but it will go out and search live data on anything you want to know. So you're in real time if you ever had a question, right? Over here is deep research. Anyone ever touched this? Deep research is where it goes deep, right? Okay, right? Any relevant sources, desires, it's going to probably take 10, 15 minutes to respond to your question, all right? And it's going to go deep on whatever the information you want. It's going to give you very, very specific results, okay? Why I like deep research, now here you are, here's the deal, you are limited on how many times you can use it, but for most of us, it shouldn't be an issue, right? Getting back to like, what do we say? How do we do it? Guys, I shared with you those prompts earlier and I'll give you those, but really like all prompts aside, I know everyone likes to like share that stuff. Here's what I do. Like if you don't know what to ask it or what to say, whatever you want to ask it, like type that in and then just ask it like, hey, what information do you need to know from me in order to give me the best results? And you know what it's going to do? It's going to spit back like, hey, that's great. Here's 10 things I need to know. And then you're going to answer all those and it's going to give you a much better prompt. Okay. So without a doubt, like I would always ask that question and that's going to solve pretty much all of your issues with prompts. Okay. Over here, because I know we got just like a couple minutes.
You're good, Jared. We like this. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Setting up the account. I think a lot of us might have skipped this step, and I think it's important to go back and do this. So when we're logged into our ChatGPT, we can go up to the top right, and we can go into settings for ChatGPT. There's a lot of stuff in here, all right? One that's important is personalization. This should be defaulted turned on. This is memory, okay? But if it's not, I would make sure you have this turned on. What memory is basically, then this is why I love using ChatGPT 80% of the time. I've used it for so long. It's figured out like how I respond, how I like my responses. I use it all the time for social media captions. It's got it pretty dialed into like how I like it. Have some emojis in there. Like it figures you out. It will figure you out the more you use it, as long as you have memory turned on. All right. A lot of this stuff we don't want to mess with. The other important one I want to show you over here, again, top right, is customize ChatGPT. This is important, okay? So customize ChatGPT, anyone do this? There's 2 questions, okay? The first question is, oh, this is new. What should ChatGPT call you? Well, I'll just say Jared Larkin. Right? These are actually new questions. What do you do? Okay, so I'll have to finish, I'll have to fill it in, right? So what do you do? What traits should ChatGPT have, right? I told I like to have ChatGPT respond in first person narrative as if it's me. That's usually what I'm using it for when I'm sharing information, right? Anything else ChatGPT should know about you, right? And guess what I did, guys? I just used ChatGPT to answer these questions. Then I copied and pasted them into these answers, right? So just do that, right? Like just use it. Boom. Right? So I would fill this information in to get better results. That way it's going to know who you are, right? How do you want it to respond? And then how do you want it to respond as though it's you, right? So do that. That'll take you 5 minutes. Just use ChatGPT. Cool. Okay. Back here, who's got the free version for ChatGPT? Okay, a lot of us. So the only disadvantage, right, with free versus paying that $20 a month and is uploading those files, right? So how can you use this? Think of it in so many ways. You can upload spreadsheets, PDFs. You can have it analyze information. So think about a spreadsheet. Think about I've done this before where I was running Facebook ads for a real estate agent who had a luxury listing, and we wanted to pull in. We were running ads to agents in different markets. So I had a list of the top agents in LA, the top agents in Orange County, the top agents in Texas, all these feeder markets that might be coming into the Denver metro. And I had to take these spreadsheets, I had to clean up the data and clean up the phone numbers, the emails, remove information. Guess what you can do? You can just upload these spreadsheets, right? Attach them into ChatGPT, just tell it what you want. Hey, clean this up, make the phone numbers look like this, remove this formatting, and it will instantly do it. You don't need to know Excel formulas anymore. You don't need to do this stuff. It will do it for you. Then it will spit it back out into a spreadsheet and let you download it. Okay. So that's how we're using it with spreadsheets. Any sort of document, right? You could take a document and upload it and have it analyze it. Anything from, I mean, I know agents that are taking their contracts and they're actually they're using them to negotiate. I mean, there's so many things you can do with this, right? You can copy and paste information in here. One thing I do is I'll try again. Is anyone making videos for social media? Yeah, right. So you could take your transcript of everything you say and copy and paste it in here and then have it automatically spit out what your caption could be on social media based off of what you're talking about. Does a very good job. Okay. Last thing I want to hit you on with is just something that I think is pretty cool. And this is going to be ChatGPT Operator. You guys seen that? Okay, so ChatGPT Operator, what it is it's basically going to be another tool that you can use to your advantage that can assist you with getting tasks done. So ChatGPT Operator, in order to have access to it, it's $200 a month. Okay, so what is it? What it is it's ChatGPT, but you can give it to task to take over your computer and start to complete tasks for you, right? So from the general terms, what can it do, right? They say, they give examples on here. Hey, I'm going to go to Italy in August for 2 weeks with my family. I want you to find the best days to fly in and out of whatever, Milan, Italy for 5 tickets that are the cheapest price. And I want you to plan out my entire route. I like this, this, and this. I want you to find restaurants that are ranked 4.7 stars or higher. And if there's a reservation, book it. It will literally just do all this for you. It will take over and just go bleep, bloop, 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 and do it. Okay?
Yeah. Do you know if it only works on a browser or will it actually go into Excel?
I don't know that answer. It's a good question. I'll circle back and upgrade because I'm about to buy it. Yeah. I'm pretty excited. Right? So that's Operator. That's where this stuff's going, guys. All right. One more thing I'll share with you. This is also part of OpenAI. The last thing I'll share with you is Sora. Have you guys seen Sora? Okay, I'll finish out with this. This is Sora. Okay, so Sora, if it loads, you have access to Sora if you pay the $20 a month option for ChatGPT. Okay, so Sora, quick little bit on it. What it can do is it can create video content through AI. It can create video clips up to so many seconds that you can leverage and use at your disposal. So whether you're making content, whether you need to take something and turn it into a video, you can use it in so many different ways. So your session expired. Fantastic. Okay. So if you're logged into ChatGPT, it will then log you in. But what it can do here, is create anything. All right. So say, for example, you wanted like a drone shot of like downtown Denver. I've done a few of these. It's getting to the point where like, even if it shows that video clip for like 5 seconds, you can't tell. Like it's getting so good. So if you need a video clip for a video, this can create it for you. And if you already have the $20 a month option on ChatGPT, it's completely free to use. All right. What it can do, look at this. Boop, 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 boop. Right here. Sora. Look at this. Okay. Present. Okay, so this was super quick. You can make video, right? This could be anywhere you could perfect, you can make it better. You can make luxury tours, you can create walking style stuff. Some of these are better than others. What's this? First time homebuyer journey, a heartwarming narrative following a young couple touring a home for the first time, right? Guys, this has come so far. I made these like 2 months ago, but when you used to do this stuff with images, they had like feet for hands and they had like 12 toes, right? So this stuff's moving fast. So I just want to share with you like where this is going in terms of like creating content, right? Now, one more bit on this, on what you can do, is you can also upload images and create videos off of that image. So what if, like, for example, I had photos of my listing, which you could do, and I was in a hurry and I have time to make a video? Guys, you could upload photos and it will take that image, turn it into a dynamic video, and you can actually now have video content from images, right? Think about B-roll footage. Think about like, oh shoot, I need a shot of Cherry Creek North over here. You could have a photo of Cherry Creek North, upload it, and have it create a video of Cherry Creek North, right? So that's where all this stuff is going, all right? So guys, I'm out of time. I know I jumped around. I know that was a lot. How I want to conclude is this. That was a lot. I'll share the prompts. Casey, Jared, you'll push it out. You guys have all the stuff. If you have questions on this, reach out to me and Andrew. That market report stuff, if you guys ever need help with that or need one run, we can help you too, right? Because we got to the point where it's dialed in. So last thing, this is what I recommend you don't do, you guys. I got a nasty email from Ari, Colorado. Okay, so I thought it'd be a good idea to download the entire MLS for the past 14 months, which is over 100,000 records. And I got a nasty email saying I'm going to get fined 15,000 and we're figuring it out. But anyway.
Put them as a credit source or for downloading it all?
Downloading it all. So it's interesting. You can download, you can go crazy downloading the data. There's no limits, but then they decide to email you and tell you there are limits. So anyway, where I'm going with this though, guys, is like, think about it. I've got all the data. What you can do with this stuff, right? If I have every single sale that occurred in the MLS, guess what I can do? With all this stuff, Claude, ChatGPT, whatever, when you take this data and upload it into, say, Claude, it is a living, breathing database, right? I can take that data and I can type in any neighborhood. Hey, I'm gonna go show a buyer a home over in Bonnie Bray. Give me like the market stats on what's going on just so I know what I'm talking about, right? I've got a listing coming up. You could do this on your phone. It's a living, breathing database, guys. So just think about like how that expands with data as we use it, okay? Off the record, if you want a copy of this data, I've got it, all right? Message me, never gave it to you, okay? But cost me 15,000, I don't know. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that wasn't too overwhelming. I know that was a lot. I hope that kind of expanded your mind and you can use something that I would share with you today. If you have questions, reach out to me. Andrew will be happy to help you out. Thanks for having me, Casey and Jared. Yeah. Cool.